Welcome to History Explained, where we illuminate the past to better understand our present. I'm your guide to your daily journey through the past to empower the future. Today is Thursday, June 5th, 2025. As we do every Thursday, we're exploring a fascinating cultural practice that has shaped civilizations and continues to influence our world today. Today, we turn our attention to the Olympic Games, one of humanity's most enduring and globally unifying cultural traditions. From their ancient origins in Greece over 2,700 years ago to their modern incarnation as the world's premier international sporting event, the Olympics represent far more than athletic competition. They embody ideals of excellence, international cooperation, and peaceful rivalry that transcend national boundaries. What makes the Olympic Games particularly fascinating is how they have served as both mirror and catalyst for broader historical changes. The Olympics have reflected the political tensions, social movements, technological advances, and cultural values of each era while simultaneously promoting ideals of human achievement and global unity that often challenge prevailing divisions. So let's explore this remarkable cultural institution, examining its ancient Greek foundations, its modern revival, its evolution through times of war and peace, and its continuing role as a platform for both athletic excellence and international diplomacy. The story of the Olympic Games begins in ancient Greece, specifically in the sanctuary of Olympia in the western Peloponnese. According to legend, the Games were founded in 776 BCE, though archaeological evidence suggests athletic competitions may have taken place there even earlier. The ancient Olympics were far more than sporting events. They were religious festivals dedicated to Zeus, the king of the Greek gods. The ancient Games took place every 4 years during the summer, creating what the Greeks called an Olympiad, a 4-year period that became a standard unit for measuring time throughout the Greek world. During the Games, a sacred truce called the Ichera was declared, requiring all Greek city-states to cease hostilities and allow safe passage for athletes and spectators traveling to Olympia. This Olympic truce represented one of humanity's earliest examples of international law and peaceful cooperation. Even during the bitter conflicts that frequently divided Greek city-states, the sanctity of the Olympic Games was generally respected, demonstrating the power of shared cultural values to transcend political divisions. The ancient Olympics featured a limited number of events compared to modern games. The earliest competitions included running races of various distances, wrestling, boxing, chariot racing, and the pentathlon, which combined running, wrestling, long jump, javelin, and discus throwing. The most prestigious event was the Stadion, a sprint of approximately 200 meters, and winners of this race had the entire Olympiad named after them. What made the ancient Olympics particularly significant was their embodiment of Greek ideals about human excellence, or oret. Greek culture celebrated the harmony of physical and intellectual development, believing that athletic achievement reflected moral and spiritual qualities as well as physical prowess. Olympic victors were celebrated not just as athletes but as models of human perfection. The ancient games also served important social and political functions. They provided opportunities for Greek city-states to display their wealth and power through the quality of their athletes and the magnificence of their offerings to the gods. Successful athletes brought honor not only to themselves but to their home cities, creating a form of peaceful competition between political entities. Victory at Olympia carried tremendous prestige and practical benefits. Winners received olive wreaths cut from a sacred tree near Zeus's temple, and many also received substantial rewards from their home cities, including lifetime pensions, tax exemptions, and positions of honor. Some Olympic victors leveraged their fame into political careers, demonstrating the connection between athletic success and social influence. The ancient Olympic Games continued for nearly 12 centuries, surviving the rise and fall of various Greek political systems and the Roman conquest of Greece. However, as Christianity became the dominant religion in the Roman Empire, the pagan religious aspects of the Olympics became increasingly problematic. Emperor Theodosius I banned the Games around 393–394 CE as part of his campaign to eliminate pagan practices. The end of the ancient Olympics marked the close of one of history's longest-running cultural institutions. For over 1,500 years, the Olympic tradition remained dormant, existing only in historical memory and the ruins of ancient Olympia, which were gradually buried and forgotten. The revival of the Olympic Games in the modern era was largely the work of one man, Baron Pierre de Coubertin, a French educator and aristocrat who became convinced that international athletic competition could promote peace and understanding between nations. Coubertin was inspired by both the ancient Greek Olympics and the contemporary belief that physical education and competitive sports could build character and improve society. In the late 19th century, Europe was experiencing rising nationalism and increasing military tensions that would eventually lead to World War I. Coubertin believed that channeling competitive instincts into athletic rather than military contests could help prevent conflicts between nations. His vision of revived Olympics emphasized amateur athletics, international participation, and the promotion of friendship between peoples. Coubertin's efforts culminated in the establishment of the International Olympic Committee in 1894 and the first modern Olympic Games in Athens in 1896. The choice of Athens was symbolic, honoring the ancient Greek origins of the Olympics while launching a new international tradition. The 1896 Games featured 241 athletes from 14 nations competing in 43 events, modest by today's standards but revolutionary for their time. The early modern Olympics faced numerous challenges and near disasters. The 1900 Paris Olympics were overshadowed by the World's Fair and poorly organized, while the 1904 St. Louis Olympics were similarly problematic. However, the 1908 London Olympics and subsequent games gradually established the Olympics as a major international event with standardized rules and growing global participation. One of the most significant developments in Olympic history was the introduction of the Winter Olympics in 1924. As winter sports gained popularity, particularly in Northern European and North American countries, the Olympic movement expanded to include skiing, skating, ice hockey, and other cold weather competitions. This expansion doubled the Olympic program and extended Olympic ideals to a broader range of athletic disciplines. The Olympics also pioneered the inclusion of women in international athletic competition, though this progress was gradual and often controversial. The 1900 Paris Olympics included 22 women competitors, and despite opposition from conservative elements including Coubertin himself, women's participation steadily increased. This Olympic platform helped advance broader arguments for gender equality in sports and society. Throughout the 20th century, the Olympics increasingly became stages for larger political and social dramas. The 1936 Berlin Olympics, hosted by Nazi Germany, demonstrated how the Games could be manipulated for propaganda purposes, even as individual performances like those of African American athlete Jesse Owens challenged racist ideologies. The Cold War era transformed the Olympics into venues for superpower rivalry between the United States and Soviet Union. Olympic success became a measure of national prestige and ideological superiority, leading to significant government investments in athletic programs and, unfortunately, systematic doping programs designed to enhance national performance. Several Olympics during this period became focal points for major political protests and conflicts. The 1968 Mexico City Olympics saw the famous Black Power salutes by American sprinters Tommy Smith and John Carlos, highlighting racial inequality in the United States. The 1972 Munich Olympics were tragically interrupted by a terrorist attack that killed 11 Israeli athletes, demonstrating the vulnerability of international events to political violence. The 1980 and 1984 Olympics saw major boycotts that significantly reduced their international character. The United States led a boycott of the Moscow Olympics in 1980 to protest the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, while the Soviet Union and its allies boycotted the Los Angeles Olympics in 1984. These boycotts demonstrated how Olympic ideals of international cooperation could be undermined by political conflicts. Despite these challenges, the Olympics continued to evolve and adapt. The end of the Cold War reduced some political tensions, though new controversies emerged around issues like professionalism, commercialization, and drug testing. The strict amateur requirements that had defined Olympic competition for nearly a century were gradually relaxed, allowing professional athletes to compete and dramatically raising the level of Olympic performance. The modern Olympics have also become massive economic and media events. Television coverage transformed the Games into global spectacles watched by billions of people, generating enormous revenues through broadcast rights and sponsorship deals. This commercialization has enabled the Olympics to support athletic development worldwide while also raising concerns about the influence of commercial interests on Olympic values. Olympic host cities now invest billions of dollars in infrastructure, venues, and organizational costs, viewing the Games as opportunities for urban development, international prestige, and economic stimulus. However, the enormous expenses and temporary nature of many Olympic facilities have also created debates about the sustainability and legacy of hosting the Games. The Olympic movement has continued to expand and evolve in the 21st century. The Paralympics, which showcase athletic excellence by athletes with disabilities, have grown into major international events that challenge perceptions about disability and human potential. The Youth Olympics, established in 2010, focus on developing young athletes while incorporating educational and cultural programs. Recent Olympics have also grappled with contemporary challenges including environmental sustainability, gender equality, and technological innovation. The International Olympic Committee has made commitments to carbon neutrality, equal gender participation, and the integration of new sports that appeal to younger audiences. The cultural significance of the Olympics extends far beyond sports. The Olympic symbols, the 5 interlocking rings representing the inhabited continents, the Olympic flame carried from ancient Olympia, the motto, Citius, Altius, Fortius, faster, higher, stronger, have become universally recognized representations of human striving and international cooperation. Olympic ceremonies have evolved into elaborate cultural performances that showcase host nations' histories, values, and artistic achievements to global audiences. These ceremonies often become defining moments in how countries present themselves to the world, combining athletic celebration with cultural diplomacy. The Olympics have also served as catalysts for social change. Olympic visibility has helped advance causes including racial equality, gender rights, and disability inclusion. Athletes have used their Olympic platforms to draw attention to social issues, sometimes at significant personal cost, demonstrating the intersection between sports and broader social movements. The values promoted by the Olympic movement, excellence, friendship, and respect, have influenced educational programs, youth development initiatives, and international relations policies around the world. Olympic ideals have been incorporated into school curricula, diplomatic protocols, and peace-building efforts, extending Olympic influence far beyond the athletic realm. Looking toward the future, the Olympics face both opportunities and challenges. Technological innovations including virtual reality, advanced broadcasting, and new sports continue to expand the Olympic experience. At the same time, concerns about costs, environmental impact, and political manipulation require ongoing attention and reform. The Olympic Games represent one of humanity's most successful experiments in international cooperation and cultural exchange. Despite periodic setbacks and controversies, they have maintained their essential character as celebrations of human achievement that transcend national, ethnic, and ideological boundaries. The Olympics demonstrate that competitive instincts can be channeled into constructive rather than destructive activities, that excellence can be pursued and celebrated peacefully, and that people from vastly different backgrounds can come together in mutual respect and friendly rivalry. As we face contemporary global challenges including climate change, political polarization, and technological disruption, the Olympic ideals of international cooperation, peaceful competition, and shared human values remain as relevant as ever. The Olympics remind us that despite our differences, we share common aspirations for excellence, recognition, and belonging to something greater than ourselves. The journey from ancient Olympia to modern global spectacle illustrates humanity's capacity for cultural continuity and adaptation. The Olympics have survived empires, wars, and ideological conflicts while maintaining their essential promise, that through friendly competition and mutual respect, we can celebrate the best of human potential while building bridges across the divisions that too often separate us. Thank you for joining us for this exploration of the Olympic Games and their cultural significance. Tomorrow, we'll be back with our Economic Milestones episode where we'll be examining the Bretton Woods Conference of 1944 and its establishment of the post-World War II international monetary system that shaped global economics for decades. If you enjoyed this journey through history, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. We'd also love to hear your thoughts. What Olympic moments or values do you find most inspiring, and how do you think the Games continue to promote international understanding in our divided world? Let us know in the comments section below. For our members, this Sunday we'll have a special roundup of cultural developments from the past week with connections to the historical traditions we've been exploring in this series. Until next time, I'm your guide for History Explained, where we believe that understanding yesterday is the key to navigating tomorrow.